Hey, welcome to another edition of the Nightly Nuge. And Ted, I just want to, with your permission, I'd like to dedicate tonight's show to my father, Robert Mark, who passed away, unfortunately, is now resting at the National Cemetery in Leavenworth, Kansas, 16 years ago today. How about that?
Well, congratulations to you and your wonderful dad for raising a great family and being a real head of a household, a patriarch, guiding, nurturing, loving, and disciplining. And if we can, on this day as well, on the Nightly Nuge, by the way, everybody, thank you for supporting the Nightly Nuge, because I know that self-evident truth, logic, and common sense is contagious. And maybe more importantly, it's kryptonite to the enemies of America. But let's all have just a moment of silence and a prayer for my good friend and a great American resource, Toby Keith, who is struggling with stomach cancer now, and he's getting better, and he's been under treatment for the last 6 months. So a great, great patriot, a great asset to the American dream that has enriched so many people's lives around the world with his soulful music. And yes, I believe that Toby Keith's country music has soul. I believe the man has soul. So Toby is a great, great man. He's a great patriot. He takes no crap. He's a shooter. He's a hunter. He's a Second Amendment advocate. He believes in God, family, country, Constitution, Bill of Rights, Ten Commandments, Golden Rule. So Godspeed and love to Toby Keith and his family today.
Yes, I should have been a cowboy.
Well, listen, I am a cowboy.
Yeah, me too. Hey, you know what, Ted? Today, what I want to talk about with you is just how crazy, confused, mixed up our government's priorities are. I'd like to open the show with a little clip from Marjorie Taylor Greene that kind of chastised her fellow representatives about the Constitution and what they were hired by us to do.
Totally ignoring, completely ignoring our own border crisis, our own baby formula crisis, and brutal inflation, skyrocketing gas prices that no one can afford. Let me remind everyone here, we swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and our borders. We should be paying attention to our country right now.
So as we look at that clip, Ted, what's going on right now up in Washington, D.C. is the January 6th trial, if you will, which it's basically impeachment of Trump 3.0, the Russian collusion hoax that went on for two times in 4 years, really, that was proved to be false, a hoax, all bought and paid for by Hillary Clinton and her campaign and pushed by a corrupt DOJ, FBI, and President Trump was completely exonerated. But yet here we are again up there. All the while, Ted, our southern border remains wide open to illegal immigrants, criminals, drugs, and all of those things. We're sending billions of dollars over to the Ukraine when we have baby formula shortages in America. I mean, what's your take on the J-6th committee up there and how skewed our government's priorities are to be tackling that while the rest of America is dealing with inflation sky high, gas and food prices that we just can't pay anymore? What's your take on all this?
Well, my take on all this is the pulse of good American families everywhere. God bless Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is a true conservationist, conservative, and most importantly, constitutionalist. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert out of Rifle, Colorado, Chip Roy here in Texas. There still is a gang of constitutionalists out there. And you know, I remember back when it was the economy, stupid, that was what everybody was repeating. Well, I would like to state on behalf of good Americans who know that this experiment in self-government is the only one of its kind in the history of mankind. It's the Constitution, stupid. You've got to be kidding me. What this January 6th embarrassment represents, it is the kangaroo court of all kangaroo courts. We are heartbroken and shattered that such an atrocity, such a clear and glaring anti-justice maneuver is taking place regarding January 6th. Let the guitar player straighten it out. January 6th was we the people exercising our First Amendment right, except for the FBI undercover agents that instigated the increasing violence and vandalism as law enforcement ushered families into the Capitol, and somebody would call this an insurrection. This is tantamount to the Concord Bridge. I mean, you've got to be brain dead and soulless. Everybody on that January 6th commission, they have no soul. Kinzinger, what kind of creep is this? Liz Cheney, what kind of tyrannical traitor is this? And of course, all the Democrats and that guy there, the chairman, my God, he is just drunk on hate for America, drunk on hate for Donald Trump. And let me summarize it. I know we try to keep this stuff short and sweet. Donald Trump secured the borders better than ever. Donald Trump reduced unemployment better than ever in history. Donald Trump caused all the global contract participants to pay their own share. Donald Trump created energy independence. If you hate Donald Trump, you hate the American dream.
I have a couple follow-up points that I want to get to. I'm an attorney by trade. And one of the keys in arriving at justice is cross-examination. Yet up there in the J-6th committee, there is absolutely no cross-examination. These people are coming up, saying what they want to say. They're not being challenged. And just imagine if the Russian hoax, as it was back then, just accepted. Now, after digging and digging, they've proven that it was all a lie and a hoax. And cross-examination is really the first place to start. And the other point I want to make with you, Ted, is the people were up there protesting at the Capitol, obviously most of them peacefully until the FBI encouraged them to breach. The critical question has not been answered, and Dinesh D'Souza framed it so perfectly in 2000 Mules. They're just glossing over as if, oh, well, it was a secure election. We're supposed to accept that part as true. So cross-examination and the underlying big lie that the election was fair. Your last take on those two thoughts.
The driving force of the American dream, the foundational activities that created this experiment self-government were created by critical thinkers. We knew the king was bad. We knew that tyrants were bad. We knew that emperors were bad. We knew that each individual is created in the image and likeness of God, and we all have God-given individual rights that we wrote down in the Constitution. I have a new Real America Voice Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire show now. Please, everybody join me on the Ted Nugent Real American Voice for more truth, logic, and common sense. But if we don't demand representation for what we know to be truth, logic, and common sense, this runaway treachery at the gas pump, at the grocery store, where the enemies of America are now controlling agriculture and energy. My friends in America, once again, the condemnation goes straight to the heart and soul of apathy. Please join us at hunternation.org and let's take this country back and get back to the perfection of the U.S. Constitution.
And you know what, Ted, you mentioned hunternation.org. We have a brand new promotion that's running at hunternation.org, and that's to win a hunt with none other than you.
And I'm so much fun around the campfire. It's unbelievable. I'm so much fun. If I wasn't me, I'd want to hunt with me.
So you got to go to hunternation.org. That's hunternation.org. And you'll see you can get your chances to go on a hunt with Ted. And whether you win or you don't win, you're being part of something bigger than you, helping the only organization out there, certainly one of the leading organizations out there that's trying to bring back God, family, country, law and order, the Constitution to America. So I hope you win. It's a heck of a hunt. I've done many of them with you. You will not regret taking that chance. Ted, come back again tomorrow, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the J-6th and kind of the weaponization of the Department of Justice. So come back tomorrow night. We'll have some more of the Nightly Nooch.